Joe did not shy away from, in order to demonstrate his principles of behavior therapy and systematic desensitization, one of his teaching tools was to treat a patient in a room with all the psychiatric residents and whatever faculty he wanted to attend, sitting around. No one-way mirrors in those days, no videotape. There was just the patient sitting where you are, Joe Wolpe sitting where I am, everyone else gathered around in a circle, where he would proceed to treat this patient. Inevitably, of course, the patient would have a miraculous turnaround. Probably, you know, some of the demand characteristics of the situation had something to do with it, but it was remarkable. The patient would get better with, from the fears, phobias, interpersonal problems, whatever the difficulty. And I would sit there absolutely mesmerized by these cures, and under Joe's supervision, began to see my first patients and enjoyed some similar success. But some of the psychiatric residents who wouldn't think of, you know, really seriously entertaining this kind of approach were nevertheless intrigued. And they would come up to me in an attempt to explain this phenomenon they would see in front of them and attribute it to something more reasonable, they thought, and say, isn't it true that Joe Wolpe, Dr. Wolpe is just a great clinician, and that there's an awful lot of transference with his patients because of it? And in later years, I went back and told Joe, and he found it amusing. I felt it was necessary at that time to deny he was a great clinician. So I'd say, no, he's not a great clinician. It's the procedures that are really effective, and furthermore, back in Wolpe's offices, we often switch therapists in midstream to carry out the procedures.